So I'm in a nail salon and I'm having a manicure and a pedicure. And frequently in these salons, they have a screen where they show movies and videos. This day, they're showing a nature documentary about penguins. I love penguins. So it's really, really great. Except I noticed that the documentary over time is actually about sea lions as predators. And suddenly there's dramatic footage of sea lions eating the tiny penguins. It's not so nice anymore. Now, let me tell you that I've never been able to watch nature footage where one animal is eating another. Look, I know it's the food chain. I just can't. I'm too sensitive. But this day, my reaction is really extreme. I start to sob, cry uncontrollably. I'm hysterical in the nail salon. And the owner comes over and asks if she can help. And I say, the penguins, it's too much suffering. Please change the channel. And she does. She puts on a music station. She chooses the songs of Dalida, a once famous French singer. And I feel extraordinarily good immediately. And it's not because I'm a huge fan of Dalida. Granted, she was great in her day. It's just that anything is better than a penguin massacre. I listen to the music and I put my head down and I just feel this great sense of wellness. And I know the song that's playing. So I start to sing aloud in the nail salon. It was an itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini that she wore for the first time today. Maybe you know that one. You see Dalida re-recorded that great classic. I'm telling this story to a doctor, a specialist in a hospital, and she knows the song too. So she sings along with me and we share a laugh. It's good to laugh because I'm here for a full battery of tests on my head and my heart. And I'm really worried. And the doctor says, oh, don't worry. We're just going to really be sure that there's nothing wrong. It's all pretty routine. And I say, I don't know. It strikes me my heart and my head are not really routine. The tests come back and the answer is the responses are really good. I have the cardio capacity of a 25-year-old. I break all the hospital records for my age group. My neurological test, well, my brain is not 25 years old. That would be ridiculous, but it's actually my real age, mid-50s. Everything is great, but the doctor looks different. She stops smiling. She gets serious. She comes close to me. She puts her hand out on my shoulder. At first, it's a little weird, but I figure we sang together, so we kind of have a bond, and I trust her. With her hand on my shoulder, she says, can you tell me why you did it? Why did you go for a run that day? You said it was really hot and it was humid and you weren't feeling well and you said you were dehydrated and you said you were fasting. Why were you fasting? And then her eyes move up to the ceiling tiles. And of course, I follow her eyes up too, both of us looking up at the ceiling. She says, tell me why. Why is it that we women feel so much unrealistic pressure around body image? Why do we do it? Why did you do it? You're perfect just the way you are. We're all perfect just the way we are. Okay, well, it's great, right? I have an extraordinary doctor who's funny and humane and a great singer, and she's also a philosopher and poet, but I don't have an easy answer for her. Yeah, I went for a run one day. It was super hot and it was humid and I was dehydrated. I wasn't feeling well, but sometimes just going for a quick blast of exercise makes me feel really good. It's a magic touch. And yeah, and I was intermittent fasting, it's true. And I could tell you that it was all about improving my training as a boxer, but no, I just saw a Facebook ad and I wanted a quick weight loss. It's true. And I passed out while I was running. I've never passed out before. I woke up in an ambulance, another first. I've never been in one for myself. I was found by a passerby, a stranger. I have no idea how long I was out. It was longer than 10 minutes, but less than a half hour. He called for help. I know I should have stopped and just stayed home or just stopped, but I got athletic really late and I'm trying to catch up and I push my limits too far sometimes. The guys in the ambulance are not helpful. They say, oh, you athletes in your 50s, you're passing out all the time, 4 to 5 times a week, see it all the time. And the ones who do intermittent fasting, you're the worst. I'm like, okay, well, that's fine, except it's never happened to me. They say, well, look, you probably have low blood pressure or it was just hot and humid, or you weren't feeling well, or maybe you have a brain tumor. We're taking you to the hospital. They'll figure it out. And there I am with that great specialist, the very humane and funny singing philosopher poet. I don't have an answer for her. She tells me, though, I have a concussion. It wasn't the cause of my fainting, but it was the result. I fainted. I hit my head. And then she says what I've probably always known. She says, Miss Pelletier, I think on the basis of these medical results and my long interview with you, I feel safe and sane. I think you simply have a very hard head. It's a good thing. Most of us do. And I say, okay, but that means my stubbornness caused my concussion. And she said, well, I don't really know, but not listening to your body wasn't really helpful that day. But the thing is, we all have a hard head. And then she looks up at those ceiling tiles again, and I follow her gaze up. And she says, you know, our bodies are purpose built to protect our hearts and our heads. We have a tough exterior. Our skull protects our brains. And under normal circumstances, that works, but it won't protect you from a lack of good sense. Even the best armor doesn't make you invincible. You're not invincible. Yeah. Don't worry, she says, the symptoms are going to pass. Singing in a nail salon and crying over penguins, itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini, that's a concussion symptom. Unless you do that all the time, it's called unexpected emotionality, a sudden burst of emotion. In time, it's going to pass. You fainted because you were dehydrated and you pushed too far. As she's about to leave the room, she turns back to me. She says, you're going to be tempted to do this again, I know. You're going to push the limits again. Please remember the manicure and the penguins, itsy bitsy teeny weeny, because you were right. Our heads and our hearts are never, ever routine. Thank you.